All right.
We're like a wolf with like an injured paw, you know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we can't bite you.
All right. So here it is. We can go get in the shot, and this is the knockout stages as it stands. Crazy stuff at the end of the day.
Dude, it doesn't honestly, like, some of them didn't surprise me. Like, for
Didn't
example, like Georgia beating Portugal 2-0.
you didn't
That is
did surprise
no,
you?
because, like, okay, when we go back and talk about, you talked about Roberto Martinez, right?
Exactly.
And you said thank you for playing players in their rightful positions. Well, he just said, well, fuck that. I'm gonna go back and just play three at the back again. He loves going three at the back.
He does.
I don't know why he loves doing that, but he enjoys it. I can see it. He's like, yes. He's like, it's finally worked, and then he loses or plays terribly. So he did that. Portugal didn't really have anything to play for anyway, so it makes sense um, that Georgia won. And I forgot what the guy's name is. Inicio something. Inicio Silva or Antonio Silva.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Antonio Silva, man of the match for Georgia, bro. It shouldn't have been Kravitskelia. It should have been Antonio Silva, man of the match. He gave Kravitskelia that fucking, he set up that play for him, and he gave him he gave Georgia that second goal by making contact for that penalty. Even though I think it was a really harsh penalty, he pulled his foot out. If you look at the VAR replay, he pulled his foot out. Georgia still capitalized on it. Portugal didn't look their best. To be fair, they're not playing their best players. Um, so yeah, it doesn't surprise me. England played exactly how I thought they'd
Terrible.
play. They play exactly how I thought they'd play. Um, but yeah, let's like start predicting. All right, so Spain and Georgia, bro.
You wanna go there? Well, obviously, I think there's a clear winner here.
I think Georgia wins that for sure.
Yeah. You think you're gonna get me this time?
No, I'm just kidding. I think Spain wins that. Spain is
Ooh,
that's a
little
great
stinger
shot.
on Horvath. Okay, it's cleared away.
I think Spain is the only team who's won all three of their matches. So I think they're coming in like on a consistent form. They didn't let Albania beat them, even though they were still winning. They played their beast team and they still pulled through. Even though Albania was a pretty good side, they like caused trouble for Italy and Croatia. So yeah, I think Spain just shows that bit of resilience. It shows like that togetherness. They got crazy young players pulling all the strings, and like Yamin Lamal, um, Nico Williams, and Pedri. So yeah, I think Spain pulled through. What do you think?
Yeah, much to what you were saying. I think it's gonna be actually a 3-0 or more. I don't think Georgia's gonna have a great day. Credit to them though; they got to the group stages, first ever appearance in the Euros, and they get into the knockout round.
Yeah, just shows good. Good on Georgia, but I think Spain is just a better team, better quality.
Imagine the edit right there. Spain going in.
All right, Germany, Denmark. I think Denmark got it easy with like a very boring group who didn't cause them too much trouble. Um, and I think now it's just they're gonna play Germany at home, who's like in their full fierce mode. I think Germany is just gonna be too much for Denmark. I think I see it like a 3-0, maybe 3-1. I can see Denmark getting a goal.
Yeah, I would say 3-1 as well. I don't think any of those two teams are going to get stopped by the kind of the lesser teams that they have. They're going to take care of business.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Portugal and Slovenia.
I think this is an easy win for Portugal. Slovenia is the I guess the weakest third place team to go through. They finished fourth on the third place bracket of all the third place teams, which is just that last spot to go through. When I think Portugal, when they come out with their true starting 11, playing a 4-3-3, I think they're just going to be like too much to handle for Slovenia.
You have a slightly fresh Ronaldo too, because he got taken off around the 60th minute. I think,
and he's upset too. He's hungry.
Of course, he was very upset. He was steaming the whole match.
Yeah,
and even though he didn't like it, I think it was necessary just to give him some time to recover for the round of 16.
Right.
And I think Portugal takes care of it if they just play the right lineup. Roberto, like let's stop tinkering right now. We're in game time mode.
Yeah.
We're in playoff mode.
I think Roberto's going to play the right lineup. I think he's going to be like, okay, 3 at the back does not work with this specific team. So let's just play our normal players. And I think whenever all those players are playing in sync, they're just going to be too much to handle. All right. The next one.
The first pretty good game as round of 16.
This one's going to be interesting because
2 teams that underperformed during the group stages, I would say.
I would agree. I would say neither team really looked too impressive. I initially want to go France just because France never lost. In this competition, they pulled through. They got a draw. They got 2 draws and they got a win. They drew against a good team like Netherlands, which means that they can kind of just, if they need to go in that block and just kind of play that defense, they can do that. Belgium, on the other hand, lost to Slovakia, not because they wanted to, but because they just couldn't score an equalizing goal. Lukaku hasn't looked like as good as he usually does. And they just, I don't know, they just kind of lack that cutting edge. I kind of was thinking the other day, I was like, they need like a Hazard type player, someone to just break through them lines. Whenever Carrasco came in, he was kind of doing that. But Jeremy Doku and Lukaku just don't have that connection, man. Like they don't see eye to eye. They're always like a one step off from each other. I say France goes through just because they got a little bit better chemistry.
What do you think scoreline wise?
If I'm being honest, 1-1. France wins on penalties.
Okay, that's actually the same thought I had.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be convincing from either side. I do think both score, and just barely France get through by penalties.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily doubt Belgium could do something, but it's just from what I remember and what they've done in the past, they don't necessarily can get over that hump in the knockout stages of major tournaments. So I'm going to go with France.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the other side of the bracket. So we got Romania and Netherlands. I think despite Romania putting in like a really good performance in the group stage, I do think Netherlands was a really good team overall, even though despite the fact that they lost to Austria. Austria is also a good team. And they really showed that in that third game against Netherlands. I still think Netherlands, though, they still scored goals. They haven't really been struggling to score goals, so I do see them, finishing Romania like a 2-1, maybe a little more, maybe 3-1, but 2-1 for sure.
Again, I think I've had to agree with you. I'm not trying to agree with you as much as I am, but I do think from what we've seen from these teams, it's going to be a closer match than I think. I don't know if it's going to be a 3-1 because I don't necessarily think the Netherlands are the real deal, just seeing them lose to Austria like that. Or not, yeah, Austria. And you were. I'll have to give it to you. You were right on Romania. Not only did you call the Slovakia, Romania scoreline 1-1, you also said Romania is better than the 2, and they were actually out of the 2. They were the one team trying to go for it and trying to actually win the match. I thought Hadji had a really great game during that time. I think they're going to be a feisty team for the Netherlands, but they do go through.
Yeah, crazy how Ukraine finished with 4 points.
Exactly.
And they didn't go through.
Exactly.
That whole group was just a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a matter of, who got beat worse that first game. So, yeah. Overall, good. That was probably, the most evenly matched group. But, yeah, I think Netherlands puts an end to them. You want to start off this one?
Yeah, so Austria and Turkey. And I think for the Austrians, this is very ideal. Because not only have they had an amazing group stage with, what's his name, Ralph Ragnick, setting it up really well. They don't necessarily have huge big name players, of course. Marcel Sabitzer, Konrad Lima. They've got some major players in some major European clubs, but they're not the greatest team. I mean, they're probably ranked in the teens or the 20s in FIFA rankings. But the way they press, the way they suffocate you, the way they just never give up, and they have goals in them. I mean, they've scored two matches. They've scored more than 3 or more goals.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Or not? I mean, 2 or more goals. I mean, they've scored 3-1 against Albania, and then 3-2 against Dutch. and I like seeing the Turkish and what they've done. I had to ask you about the. Did you see the Turkey and Czechia match?
Yeah, I was actually watching that to the very end.
Super physical, super crazy
Yeah,
game.
I mean, so Czechia got like a red card pretty early on. Um, I do think that some refs would have called that goal that Czechia scored a foul on the goalkeeper. Um, did you watch that game or no?
I didn't, but I was there's like a literal like 6 minute video on YouTube of the 20 bookings that was on the
Yeah.
match. It was crazy on top of everything.
Yes, that ref was just. I feel like that ref just kind of lost control of that match, and he was just trying to do his best to keep it under control by booking everyone, which is an unusual method because you're just frustrating players a little more.
Uh-huh.
At the end, he ended up giving another red card. He at one point, whenever I think it was the Turkish. No. It was the Czechia bench. They all were protesting against a call he made. He gave the whole bench yellow cards.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, what? Well, you're tripping, man. Like, just continue the game. I think that ref is. I don't think we're gonna be seeing him again. At least not in any big matches.
No.
But yeah, I do like the fight in Turkey. Turkey stayed patient. They defended well. They countered attack really well. I think this is probably going to be one of the better matches because it's just so close. It doesn't have like a big name team necessarily, but this match is going to be just like who wants it more. And I do see Austria going through past Turkey. I've seen little holes in Turkey's defense that I haven't seen. By the way, because like look at how Turkey got dismantled by a good team like Portugal, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely dismantled. To be fair, the second goal was an own goal. That was like a big error, but still, they couldn't mentally recover from that, right? Austria, on the other hand, are coming off a huge win against Netherlands. They have that confidence, and I think they're just going to do enough to pull through and beat Turkey.
Valid points. I do believe it's going to be probably one of the more fun games. I think it's going to be a 2-2, honestly.
Yeah.
And then Austria go on penalties and get the job done. I don't know if Turkey just not having just enough, but credit to them getting past Czechia like that. They're going to be roughed up almost. And that might play a factor since I guess it all gets wiped, so it doesn't actually matter, the bookings. It was such a strange game. I saw the first red card, and so I went out to go work out, and I thought, okay, this is going to be all Turkey, but such a strange match. This is going to go down as one of the strangest matches in European championship history. It's the most ever bookings, 20 bookings.
So wait, this is the... No, they don't get wiped out to the quarterfinals.
Oh, they don't? So that might play a factor.
Yeah, it might play a factor.
So but if Turkey get through, of course, but if
then
they might
gets
lose,
wiped out. Yeah,
they might. Yeah,
but I'm not sure if like it gets wiped out as soon as the quarterfinals start, or if it still carries over. Like for example, if we get a yellow card
here,
is it still effective?
I think that might if it's like that.
I feel like if it's only a red card, I don't know for sure. We'll check for you guys, but I think if it's a red card, then it affects the quarterfinals. If it's not, then it's just wiped out afterwards. And I think that would make the most sense because then it's just yellow card accumulation, but gets wiped out later. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right? I think personally, it should just be like after the group stage, it's wiped out, and from then on, you only have 4 matches to play if you're gonna make it to the final, which not every team will. And so then they should wipe it out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. What's going on here? Did someone get injured? There's a little just foul, I guess.
Yeah.
It's 63rd minute. No one's really done anything this half.
Yeah, I definitely missed the better half.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Okay, what do you think about England and Slovakia? You think England get out of their little slump?
Not really. I think it's a 1-0 win. England's not convincing at all.
But you still think England goes through?
Yeah, I think they go through. You can't unless something disastrous happens. I don't think Slovakia has it. But that would send the English into like riots if they got knocked out.
I think so. It'd be a sad English day and also very angry English day. Okay, I agree with you. I think
just ask you really quickly. Did you see any like a lot of the people in or like at least a couple of opinions were coming out by
Penalty check.
Oh, there's a penalty check here.
Penalty check for the USA.
Wow. But as that's getting checked, onto
Yeah.
my point, people were saying, did you see the match?
For which match?
The England Slovakia match, or not Slovakia, Slovenian match.
Their final match.
The final
yeah,
match.
Yeah, I was watching it.
What did you think of Cole Palmer's performance as he came on to the
So he came on
around the 60th,
around the 60th, yeah. I mean, he was fine. They were playing him as a left winger.
He was a right winger. He was on the right.
No, he was on the left.
Anthony Gordon was on the left.
No, but yeah, Anthony Gordon came on afterwards. So initially, when he came on, they slotted Phil Foden at number 10, and he was kind of playing on that left side.
Okay.
And I was like, because I remember thinking, like, why are you playing him in a position that he doesn't normally play? Like, you know what I mean? Like, eventually Anthony Gordon did come on.
Yeah.
And I forgot who else they were playing.
That's a pin.
You
I'm
think
sorry.
so?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but that's a pin. Ugh. He goes straight through him.
Yeah. Dude, we're gonna...
Vickers, dude. What the heck? Stay on your feet, dude.
Hey, he could still miss it. Mexico missed a penalty.
But yeah, just terrible thing. But back to your point, yeah.
I still think Gareth Southgate is like incredibly no penalty.
No pin. Okay, wow. Okay, fair enough.
Dude,
I actually thought the worst. I thought the worst.
That happened yesterday too for the Ecuador game. Ecuador Jamaica game. I remember Ecuador had a handball inside the box, but it was going away from goal instead of to goal. And I think that might have made an influence on the ref's mind, because if it's going away from the goal, then you're not really creating a goal scoring opportunity. And it hit off his, like, he was going for the ball and he was kind of just going like this, and so it hit off his hand briefly and hit his face. Anyway, the ref ended up calling it not a penalty, which I agree with him. I think that'd be a harsh penalty. But yeah. I still think Gareth Southgate hasn't found his best starting 11, and he's just, to me, he comes off as a little bit stubborn, and he doesn't want to make these adjustments. He's playing like super cautious. He's playing almost like as a man who knows his job is on the line if he doesn't win this tournament or make it far. Yeah. And I think that's just a terrible way to play, because then you're like sacrificing a lot of quality in players that you have on the bench. He did bring on Kobe Mainu pretty early on. He brought him in as soon as the second half started. So I mean, he's getting a little more adventurous, you could say, but still, England win it, but barely win it.
Yeah, I think it's a 1-0. I bring up the fact that he brought on Cole Palmer. There just seems to be some rumblings that Cole Palmer deserved to start after that over Bukayo Saka, and I think that's absolute blasphemy.
I don't think so.
I don't think Cole Palmer did anything that would totally incentivize Southgate to put him in as a starter.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember is he had a shot late on in the game, and he sent it right at the keeper. Perfect position on his left foot. You would think Cold Palmer would finish it. No, I think it's absolutely slanderous that you would think that Bukayo needs to be dropped. And I might get into it a little bit later, because I did look up a couple of things. I just think it's rather annoying that Bukayo gets this hate or just gets underrated for some reason. I may be biased because I'm an Arsenal fan, but whatever. That's me ranting. England goes through. What do you think about Switzerland and Italy?
This one's going to be an interesting match. I think Italy surprised me with that last-minute goal against Croatia. They showed a lot of, like, persistence and a lot of resilience. Because they defended well. They kept trying to go for it. And then the last minute, they knock out Croatia, right? Despite the fact that even if they would have lost that match, they still probably would have gone through anyway. And Switzerland just does look... I think Italy's just too good for Switzerland. Even though Switzerland knocked out France 4 years ago, or I guess 3 years ago, because it was in 2021. I think Italy's just a different defensive monster.
Again, have to agree with you. I think it might be a 2-1. With seeing Italy get over the hump, I think it's going to be such a huge momentum shift. And I don't know how far. We'll see how far they go when I start thinking about this. But yeah, like you said, like they were playing almost like 4 or 5 attackers up top against Croatia. They were like playing a 4-2-4 almost. Even that they were playing almost 3 at the back. And I streamed this game too. If you go check out the stream, come on guys, watch the streams with me. But I was noticing like they couldn't build up play, so they couldn't transition, trying to build it from the back up to their attack later on in the game, and it was really worrying to see if they could get a chance. But Calafiori tries to take matters in his own hands, drives forward, and then finds Matea, whatever, Zakagini.
Yeah.
Beautiful finish, right? Absolutely beautiful finish.
Yeah, perfect.
I do think Croatia was a little too narrow, and they gave him too much space.
Way too much space.
But
Croatia gave up those 2 last-minute goals that it would have changed their whole dynamic of the group.
Exactly. But had a lot to do still, and beautiful finish, and I think they get it done as well. Probably late on, though. I do think Switzerland gives them a run for their money.
Yeah, I agree. Switzerland's a tough team.
All right, over to the other side.
Okay, so we got Spain and Germany. So Spain and Germany. I think this is probably going to be one of the best matches in the tournament. It's the 2 best teams from what I've seen. And I think it's just going to come down to, like, luck and, who messes up first defensively, right? And I think a lot of it will depend on...
Oh, Florian.
Yeah,
he's having a game, dude.
Yeah, he's on one. He's finding those spaces. He's taking those adventurous shots, which is what we need. It's what you need when you're playing a man down. It's a great ball too. Great ball. Great vision.
Christian and
just onside too.
Yeah, they both are attack right now.
And maybe he was a little bit impatient. He could have just waited a second, waited for who is that? Is that Pulisic coming into the box?
Yeah, that could have been maybe.
He could have just passed. Pulisic could have just tapped it in. But yeah, okay. So going back to this, I think Germany see out this match and just get a home win from their home fans. I wouldn't be surprised if Spain go through, but my gut says Germany.
Again, there's a lot of green during this bracket. It's just because we both picked Germany to win it all. And I think I'm sticking with that take as of right now. I do have to go back on the take where I thought possibly Spain getting knocked out by a lesser team, as they have in the past. This is a different Spain team. It's very efficient from what I've seen, and look who's coming on.
Oh, hell
Pepe.
No. Oh, hell
no. He's taking off Flo.
Bro,
no. Greg, what are you doing?
Bro, Greg does not know what he's doing. What is Greg doing, bro? You're taking off your dude who scored, who's making chances out of nothing.
And now you bring on the fickle little dudes.
What the fuck is... This is why. All right, it may pay off, right?
Who knows? We'll have to watch.
It may pay off, but if it doesn't, Greg, we're coming after you, bro.
That's a questionable call right there.
Because, dude, why would you take out your player who was like making all the chances, who was making those runs?
Back to this. Yeah, I would give it. I'm actually gonna think 1-1 Germany on penalties. I think it's a really close game, as you said.
Okay. So we got Germany.
Well, I get Germany. I just think it's going to be close.
It is going to be close. I mean, they're 2 great teams.
Yeah.
It's going to be close.
Portugal and France, a rematch of the final back in 2016. Yeah.
I think Portugal goes through, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Portugal. France does not look impressive. France has not looked unless France decided to look impressive that day.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I just think Pepe and Ruben Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
are gonna make Mbappe their pet.
Really?
That game, bro. They're gonna make him a little turtle.
Ooh.
They're gonna make him look like a little turtle, like going slow compared to them. Because Pepe, he's a beast. He's an animal. He's too smart, and he's still physically fucking crazy, like fast, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like for 41 years old, this man took care of himself. Ruben Diaz, world class, world class positioning, strength wise, passing. The only thing is Joe Cancelo.
Okay.
Joe Cancelo.
That's a bad shot.
He has to defend that game, dude.
Yeah.
If Joe Cancelo gets caught up too high up on the pitch, Mbappe and or Barcola, I don't know who he's going to decide to play on that left wing.
That was interesting. He started Barcola.
Yeah. It was interesting. I liked it though because I've seen him for what he's played. He played basically the PSG front three.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Dembele. I think he's a super skillful player. He just makes terrible decisions. Terrible decision maker. And so I think if they play flat like they have with no passion against like a Portugal team who's ignited, who's hungry, who's looking good, I think it's not going to end well for France. I see it going like 1-0 Portugal or maybe 2-1 Portugal.
Man, I hope I'm right here, but here's what I think.
Go ahead.
It's 1-1.
Yeah.
Mbappe scores in the first half. Either Portugal get an equalizer by like Bernardo Silva or somebody.
Yeah.
It's super tight game. Really entertaining, a lot of chances, but no one really putting it away. And then we get to like deep in like a 90-something minute.
Yeah.
Cross comes into the box for Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the man, CR7, rises to the occasion.
You think Cristiano?
Ronaldo! And I think there's going to be the first time a 39-year-old man scores in the round of 16 to send Portugal through.
Yeah, that would
I'm hoping the scenes, dude. The scenes.
That would
Imagine him streaking away and him doing the scene.
Dude, that crowd would go wild.
Yeah.
And it would also set up a very exciting semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
It really would.
It would.
All right, cool. So you agree with me, Portugal?
No, I say that's what I think. I think Ronaldo
bet.
gets the winner.
All right, Portugal gets the winner. Okay. All right, cool. So we got a good semifinal on this side. Let's go over here. So
we have the Netherlands and Austria.
It's a rematch.
Oh, it is a rematch. That actually is one of the better group stage matchups.
Yep. What do you think? You go first.
Man, I don't know. This is the one I don't know about now because I'm thinking about it. Because Austria will have kind of that mental edge on Netherlands because they beat them.
Yep.
They know they can beat them.
They know they can beat them.
You know, I'm going to go bold. 2-0 Austria.
I was going to say I agree. I think,
oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to say I think Austria is going to be like, well, dude, we beat this team already. And Netherlands is just, I think
I'm not sold.
I'm not sold, especially if Austria get past a tough Turkey team. They're going to have even more confidence. And if Netherlands struggle against Romania, which I have a feeling like they might, Austria's just going to go in there and like you said, 2-0 them, which is, in a way, a very solid victory. It means that you not only just score, but you also didn't get scored on. I think Austria's going to go through. I think Austria's going to be like the dark horse of this tournament.
Wow. Austria going through to the semis. Let us know, Austrian fans. That must be in dreamland if that does happen. But now to Italy and England. Another rematch, the final
of from
last time.
Yeah.
This is another tough one.
I already know who's going to...
Really?
Yeah, I think Italy wins, man.
Really?
Yeah, Italy wins. England don't have it. They don't have it this tournament. If Harry Kane was in form and he had been scoring banger after banger, I'd be like, yeah, for sure, England, right? England's the in overall better quality side individually with players, but Italy's just a better team, I think, and they haven't necessarily played to their best, but I think they just have that, like I said, that little bit of resilience in them, and I do think that it's going to be enough to get them through and just beat an English side that they can kind of allow, because I feel like England will press high. They'll try to go for that winning strategy in the first couple minutes of that game. They're going to tire out. Italy are going to come play on the counter, and I think Italy's going to win in the most like Italian way, a defensive set piece, or a set piece. Really? A set piece like a corner or a free kick. I think there's just going to be too much for England. What do you think?
This is the one of tough ones. Because, Italy. I'm trying to find I'm not trying to be English hater. I'm trying to reason with you English fans, but I think you have to agree you're playing shit this tournament. I'm trying to justify a 1-0 win or you getting like a 0-0 on penalties. That's the only thing I can think of. 0-0 penalties would probably be the most likely England go through. But I'm going to have to go 1-0 Italy.
Yep.
And that would probably be the end of Southgate. He diminished his career.
I
Or
think
at least
I think this is Southgate's last tournament.
it is already confirmed, but I don't think the English will now see Southgate's career tenure as a highlight in the English setup.
Yeah, I mean it's been better than previous managers because he did make it to one final.
He did
their first final, and I don't know how long
He did.
since they're probably their last final, their last time they won the World Cup, right? I don't think I've seen them or heard of them in a final since then. So I mean, good on him, but you lacked what Carlo Ancelotti said, right? And that's like you got to be flexible as a manager. You got to adjust your tactics. That's why he's been around it for as long as he has. And if an old great man like that is saying it, it must be true to a certain extent. And so, oh, is he gonna get it? Nope.
All right.
Sorry. So now we're on the other side. Portugal, Germany. Now this is probably one of the best matches that we can watch.
This is the same semi we picked.
It was
from our predictor in the original Euro predictor.
It is.
Do you go with the same?
I'm going with the same thing. I'm sorry. Germany just has Portugal's number, dude. And as much as I want CR7 greatness to come through, I think just Portugal. I don't know what it is about every time they play Germany. I mean, I could be wrong. This could be the time where they like barely beat Germany 1-0 and all the German fans throw fucking beer at them, and because last time Germany lost at home and they were hosting a tournament was the 2006 World Cup, and they were absolutely despising the Italians who knocked them out. They despise the Italians. And so this could happen to Portugal too, but I do think the German quality is just a little too good.
Yep. Once again, 2-1 Germany. I think it's going to be close, like I called it in the Euro predictor previously. Just, you don't have any evidence to prove that Portugal has an edge in this game. It's in German soil. If they're in the semifinals, it's going to be rocking in whatever stadium they're going to be in. It's going to be a home field for them, and I think that just sends them over to the final.
Yeah. Okay, on the other side, we got Italy and Austria. Italy and Austria, man.
That's not what I would expect.
Not what I was expecting either, but I like it. I like it. And I'll let you go first, because I kind of have an idea what I want. So go ahead.
Okay. Oh, hello. I don't think there was anything. Pepe tried to get something on goal, but...
Dude, we need to get a penalty, bro. That's the only way I see us winning.
That just wasn't convincing at all, but at least we're getting some type of attack. But, okay. My heart wants Austria to go into the final. My head says just go with the established team in Italy. At that point, would I back Italy? The pressing of Austria, Italy. I'm just going to go Italy. Okay. Barely, though. Barely. I think it just breaks Austria's heart, but I would clap them up. If they make it that far, I'll give them to it. But I had to go with the established team. I mean, that's maybe boring of a take, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think Austria wins.
Really? Okay, so you're going the non-boring take.
No, I think Austria wins. I think Italy has not looked that great this tournament. I think they can beat a sloppy team like England has showed to be this tournament specifically. Not that they're a sloppy team in general. They just, this tournament, they're just not laser focused or whatever. They're not clinical. I think Austria, I think that hunger and that just that creativity that Austria seems to have, I think it'll just be enough to get them past Italy. And I see them beating Italy like 1-0, and they like beat Italy in their own game defense.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And so the final, I think regardless of whether the final is Germany or Italy or Germany, Austria, I think the result's the same. I think Germany wins the whole thing.
Of course. I think I would love it for Austria to go through based off our little scenario right here.
Yeah.
Out of that matchup. But again, we both picked the same team. Germany winning it all. But it is going to be...
Oh, shit.
Really? Really?
Well.
Really?
Well, I mean, that's... The Panama just scored against the USA.
83rd minute.
Yep. I mean, we didn't want to see it, right? But now we have to get a point against Uruguay. We have to get at least 1 point.
out of all the teams in this whole CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore because I'm lost for words, but I would never guess that Panama might be going into the third match day having the edge to go into the round of 16 or the quarterfinal over everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, Panama did knock us out of the last Gold Cup last year. I think the keeper should have done better.
Horvath, what are you doing? Oh my goodness.
The keeper should have done better.
He's never seen. I may be being really overcritical and lashing out now, but I don't think Ethan Horvath ever sees a major tournament game start anymore. You can't do that.
It was right. It was right at him. It was right at him. All he had to do was stay up, block it. I mean, I'm sure there was pace on the ball. I saw there was pace on the ball, but still, as a keeper, it's right in front of you. It's not like he was diving for it. All you have to do is this, man. Like, it's not good goalkeeping. I'll say that.
No.
Anyway, yeah, that's our prediction, guys.
Of course.
Let us know what you think. Are we right? Are we wrong? Do you want to see Austria in the final? Do you think Austria's the dark horse? If not, who else could be the dark horse?
Yeah. Make sure to watch the other videos that we're recording too. We're putting out so much content for you guys. We appreciate all the views and likes so far, but we're putting out as much content as possible. Stay tuned for the reaction to this Panama game and see if maybe Ricardo Pepi can come to our rescue.
I hope so.
Yeah. See you guys.